Hello.
Bonjour Divya. Hello Divya, how are you doing?
Bonjour. I'm tired. I'm good. How are you?
Awesome, I'm great.
Good.
All right, so today is la grande finale de Divya.
Yes.
um, you're going to be on your own, or is Mohit joining us?
By my own only. I'll share
Okay,
my screen. But do we want him today? He was asking. But it's fine. We can manage. Or do.
it's really up to you guys. You guys
Okay.
decide.
He'll watch me live. I'll share my screen. Okay. How are you doing? You had your breakfast today? Early?
Actually, I didn't. I just got out of a
Why?
call. I was in a call with lots of community member.
I gave you
Alex,
time specially to eat your breakfast.
I know, but the call extended. So I was in the call with Alexander, Fridger, and James about
Okay.
Mine NFT, kind of like a museum of NFTs, and how we would think this idea.
Okay.
We're like
Okay.
brainstorming, idea generation.
All right, that's good to hear. That's pretty good. Okay, so let's start with my screen sharing. And Miami coins, you are going to explain that, okay?
Okay,
Yeah. Okay, so we'll come with this. Can you see my screen?
absolutely.
All right. So this is my screen. Welcome to our SGX Knowledge. So it is an initiative by my French community, which includes us and also the audience. Okay, for the members of my French community. So as like hello audience, as you all know, since 1 week we were taking this live session, although a bit boring for some of the people, but also a very more informative for many of us, I'm sure, which will lead to enhancement of our respective knowledge. So in this presentation, what we are going to cover is what is a Bitcoin, which is very much famous these days. What are smart contracts? We are going to explain you what are they, what is tax, what is a BNS, and the hotmost topic last week, which was why Facebook was down. Many of us knows due to this internet knowledge, but I'm pretty sure that we are not even aware that it was down. Also, the business tycoon and the most famous person, which most of the people follow, is Gary Vee and his goals with his NFTs. So, starting with the presentation here, what is
Yeah.
a Bitcoin? Yeah,
Divya, let me hold you on. Be careful not to speak too close because the mic is
yeah, all
sensitive
right.
to
Okay,
uh,
yeah, I
the
got
air
it.
you're blowing.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay, done. Okay, now let's come with this. What is a Bitcoin? All right. So
much better.
Bitcoin, it is a form of a digital currency which is 12 years old as of now. We are living in 2021 and it was invented by 2008 by Satoshi, which Rafa has already explained us in the video. And I wasn't aware of this person, but it was invented by Satoshi Nakamoto. Okay. And what is it basically? So these days we are dealing with money, monetary things, with the exchange of our paper services, but it is a sort of a digital currency. We are living in an a artificial intelligent world. So it is a sort of a digital currency without a central bank or any sort of administrator. And what is a fact related to this? That we don't have pretty much unlimited bitcoins. We have only 21 million bitcoins and it is in a limited supply. Okay. But it is still unknown by the government. All right. So, being an Indian, I would like to tell you that it started with pretty only in thousands earlier, but after 12 years, it is into lakhs, which is a pretty good amount, which is 41 lakhs, 70,000 INR currently. And it also fluctuates on the daily basis. So people who are not aware, it is not fixed, but it keeps on fluctuating. Secondly, I'm coming up with a smart contract. So what is smart contract? It is a computer program. If I talk about a very layman term, it is a very basic computer program, which is pretty important. And the programs which are stored on a blockchain, which runs when predetermined conditions are met. So we have so many types of smart contracts, which obviously we can buy. One of them, topmost, which I also plan to buy in future, is Ethereum blockchain. It is a collection of code and its functions. So we already, it is the first cryptocurrency, which is Ethereum. And then we have SOL, DOT, Ergo, Elgo, etc., etc. The third, which I'll come up with, this stacks. Stacks, I'll tell you a very basic definition. For example, the short form is STX. It brings smart contracts to Bitcoin in which we deal. And also a stack is an abstract data that serves as a collection of elements. What I understood in these sessions which I held, which were held during our last session, was everything is incomplete if it is missing. For example, if a stack is missing, or a smart contract, or a blockchain is missing or incomplete, so our next function is not, we will not be able to fulfill that. So if I take about a very real life example, if you Google what is normal stack in an English term, it is a stack of plate, right? So you can only take one plate up, then you keep the last in the last plate, then you keep the last plate down, then you keep it in the first place. So this thing I discovered as an example to explain people better. So stack is basically a very important tool when we are talking about these bitcoins and masterpiece. Also, now I'm coming to this DNS. As you can see, we have already created my account with the help of some sort of stacks. Monsieur Rafa has already sent us 6 stacks so that we were able to buy by my name. So it is a very, very, important document, and also via which we can do all the transfer. It is divya.btc, rafa.btc. By the name of it, we were not only relying on one central computer, but it was like I had gained the trust personally that, we have gained the trust that not even relying on one, but it was so secured that we were, we were writing 24 letters. We were writing not even our passwords, because passwords tend to hack, but we wrote it down on a piece of paper and then we put it in the form of a password. So we have created the BNS and BTC account, which were decentralized. Now coming to DNS. The DNS is, which I'm going to explain you in the next slide also. It is very important to understand DNS right now, to understand Facebook and all the domains better. So it is domain name system, which is the hierarchical and decentralized naming system for computers, services, etc. So everything is related to one single domain. So domains name system are pretty much important. And coming to the most hottest topic last week on internet and on Twitter as well, which is, I think, very much important. We all thought that, all right, Facebook was down, it must be some, glitch. WhatsApp was down, it might be a glitch. Or pretty much sure that some of the members have experienced that their phone was not good, their network or their Wi-Fi wasn't good. But actual reason was far more different, and coming to the reality is, it was a flashing news headline that Facebook suffers 2 outages in a week, which was 6 hours. The longest outage was for 6 hours. And me being working in an, IT company, also we have notices, even if a single wire goes down, for example, it is a very major outage, and it is a very major, RFO, reason for outage, has already been, asked by many of the people. So the first thing is the crippling outage at Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook Messenger, obviously, which occurred last Monday. It was due to domain name system, which is DNS. It was not due to any sort of your internet connection or our phone networks or our fault, but it was due to DNS, domain name system. Second, Facebook also said, I have done the research today, that it has also been assured that the outage was due to the configuration change to its routers, and the users has nothing to worry about. For example, we might be afraid that what if our personal data got leaked up due to that 6 hours of outage, but no, it was due to the DNS and the router change. Third, why it is very important to know that why such a big company, and also Mark Zuckerberg has stated that he has suffered the losses of millions during that 6 hours. So the problems began with the root and BGP update that went wrong and wiping out the DNS routing information that Facebook needs to allow other network. So it was all interlinked. Now the famous topic, the famous man alive, it is Gary Vaynerchuk, which is in the short form Gary V. So Gary is considered one of the leading global minds on what's next in culture. We all follow him, I'm sure, on Instagram, Twitter, and also follow his YouTube videos, which are pretty, motivational. And also, I have added one link attached to it. He has explained very well that, he has explained all the blueprints on how to bring value using NFT technologies, which is a non fungible token. So Gary Vee has explained a very good thing in his blogs and also in his YouTube channels. Also, he has explained the technology which is giving access and community through the smart contract, which I again told in my previous slides in the first or second slide itself, that what were basically smart contracts. And also we have done our purchases and all the transfer which was done, which was with the help of my BTC name and my BNS account only. Nothing with the passwords, nothing with only one single URL, but it was all pretty damn secured. Even I would rely less on WhatsApp now, more on these networking systems, and would try to invest. So what is the goal of Gary Vee? And we should also learn through his things. So his goal is to make people aware of NFTs, also with his rules of empathy and kindness, which is his ultimate strength. And also I've attached two images which you can see. He's giving the motivational speech, not only how to invest, but also he's giving us all the blueprints that how world would look alike in the coming years. If it is a very smart move if we do right now. For example, it's without hustle, your talent will only get you so far. Obviously, if we try to invest or we try to gain our passion in these sort of sharing system, bitcoins, etc. So the future is pretty much in our hands only, what I feel. So we would not say to our kids probably after 10 or 20 years that in our coming time the bitcoin was only for 41 lakhs. It would be in close, it would be millions or trillions, I'm damn sure, in future. So but it is also limited, so we have to really utilize it as a sustainable thing also, that it might be you know devastated and also be endangered in future, just as dinosaurs. So now I would like to state a very, very big token of thank you to a very, it is a very heartwarming, huge token of thanks to Monsieur Rafa. He has been a, immense support. I cannot even thank him after this. And STX community for all the fundraiser, because in my next video or somewhat in future, I would like to tell you what I have used for it, because it is pretty much for a good cause, which is my education and also for some sort of personal thing. But yeah, this community has not only helped a single person in India, but also it is a very eye opener to many people, I would say, many people in India who really needs to open their eyes and think more and invest more in this artificial intelligence thing. So everybody in our life, I think, needs guidance or a mentor, not only for learning French or languages, but investments and fundraising is so important, we got to know now. So, community, whoever is listening, you can get in touch with us also. Our friends community, you can, share your views, your any plan of action. We are ready to help. Not only from India, we have people from Russia, New York, every part of the world, I suppose now. We really help people to grow more. And you can see me as a biggest example. It is not a sponsored video, I would say. Yeah.
Awesome work, Divya. Awesome work. I'm
Thank
so
you.
proud of you.
Thank
Um,
you.
awesome work. So I'm not going to explain anything because I don't want to steal the show today. This was your show. Um, I think you did an amazing job. Potentially, we could, if you're not against the idea, we could have a Q&A session.
Yeah,
So we could maybe tomorrow or
sure.
at the end of the week, we could allow people to post their questions, and then
We'll do it.
yeah, and then if we gather enough questions, um, you would be answering these questions, and I
Sure,
with
sure.
my help. But
Yeah.
I think you did an amazing job of explaining that. Maybe one of the question that I had for you, maybe just to
Yes.
complement your presentation. So you said that Facebook was down, that people were afraid of having their data lost,
Yes.
um, but that actually it wasn't Facebook kind of like it wasn't Facebook's kind of like issue, because Facebook is very strong. They have the best developers and all of that, but it was a DNS issue. So my question to
Yeah.
you would be: is it then worse or is it better that the problem was a DNS issue rather than
DNS
a
issue.
Facebook?
It was a DNS issue, like company domain name only.
And just so is it better or is it worse that it is a DNS, a centralized way of communication through the internet, that caused this outage that
I
you
think it
mentioned?
is, yeah, I think it is a thing to worry and it is a worst issue only. Definitely. Because now I don't think so. It happens once, I understand, but it happened 2 times in a week in a row. Only once we realized, but nothing is safe in this means then.
So exactly, good answer. Great. Yeah, it happened twice. So it's almost like Facebook is dependent on this
Yes,
centralized party, and you're depending on somebody else, like a centralized party. So even though they have the best developers, they're not
yeah,
they're depending on someone, on a centralized DNS. So the issue here is more like an architecture issue of the
yes,
entire internet, rather than just one app, Facebook or Instagram, which sometimes they do have bugs, and they sometimes even have like millions of
hmm,
data in the past. We've seen
right,
scandals of millions of data being lost, but they're very, I mean, they did a lot of upgrades, but the issue is more like at the architecture of the internet. And I think you did an amazing job of explaining that architecture is different, that
yes,
the way you bought your divya.btc
yes,
was through that network of computers that is not dependent on a central computer, so to
exactly.
speak. I think that was really, really well put. And I like that you mentioned also, other projects of blockchains, not only Blockstack, because a lot of innovation, has been through other blockchains as well. And I think that you were pretty on point also explaining that the name of stacks, what does it
Yeah,
mean? Like this layer of plates, um,
yes,
because there are more than just smart contracts to Bitcoin. Stacks
exactly.
brings smart contracts to Bitcoin, that's true, but it also has all these layers of technology, like a way to store your data in a decentralized way that we didn't explore. So actually, your definition of stacks and other layers, that
Yeah,
this stack definition,
exactly.
in the sense, really was
Typical
great in the
English.
presentation.
Yeah.
So I would put you in A plus just for
Thank
showing
you.
up, but the execution was also A plus.
Thank you.
But you know that we don't grade at my French
Yeah,
community. There's no
never,
grading. Yeah.
never.
So thank you so much. I'm also very touched by the message at the end. And folks in the community, if you have questions for Divya, not for me,
Yeah,
Divya would potentially love to participate. I think I'm talking under your control in the
yeah,
stacks community. I think that somebody reached out to us and offered maybe you become an advocate, or
yes,
so
yes.
I'll let you reach out to them and
Sure.
but awesome work.
Thank you to you.
So yeah, so next, we can either do a Q&A or just finish with this. So if
Yeah,
folks want to tweet below that, if they have
exactly.
questions, and then
Hmm.
we'll gather that. And if we have, questions from anybody or anywhere on the internet, you want to spread this on
Yeah, so
Facebook,
we'll
on
do.
LinkedIn, on Instagram, we're happy to do another session of Q&A with you.
Sure, sure. Done. Why not?
Do you want to conclude? I'll let you the last
Yeah.
word.
The conclusion is not only learning one thing. I feel it is a lot more to learn, and also I've gained so much knowledge that everything was interlinked. Very new concepts, which I am telling some people also, that yes, even my father got one magazine which is for investments. I am gonna tell him all the definitions and everything because it is pretty much useful now.
Perfect. So that's it for us today.
We'll
Awesome,
meet.
awesome work. Merci
Thank you
beaucoup.
so much.
Et surtout,
Merci.
garde ta flamme
Gardez votre
intacte.
contact.
Keep it burning.
Yes, yes.